Hey crew, I've got the key to this 25 Cadillac CT5-V Blackwing, and man does it feel good to have one of these back in my driveway, even if I don't own it this time. Anyway, let's check out the spacing in my driveway, which is 16 feet wide by 19 and a half feet long. I've got the Blackwing parked at least 2 or 3 inches hanging off the edge of the driveway, sitting next to a new Mercedes-Benz G580 EQ that my wife is reviewing this time. If you want to check out her content, it's at Mobile Mama on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. That one is parked right there at the edge. And let's just pretend the Blackwing is over a few more inches. There is still a runway's width of space to walk between the cars, and the door mirrors of the Blackwing do power fold in for a little extra room. The nose of the car with the carbon fiber 1 package is hovering over the gutter at the beginning of my driveway, and at the back, there is still plenty of space to walk in front of the hedge on the path to my front door. When first hopping in with the key fob on me, I can put my hand on either of the front 2 door handles that will unlock the doors, and I will wait until I'm parked next to someone in a lot, because this is obviously so much room I can fully swing out the door and make my way inside. I am going to empty out my pockets before I do so, because I need to contort a little bit over the high side bolsters and the low door sill to get in. But you know what? I did this a lot, so kind of know how to move my body around to get in. Closing up that door. Hello, cabin crew. Thanks for joining for this day in the life in the 25 Cadillac CT5-V Blackwing with the manual and the precision package. Now, if you know this channel, you know I owned one of these for over a year and a half, so I'm very familiar with what it's like to live with the car, but I want to see if the changes they've made for 25 make it even better. Let's start by firing it up. Oh, I have missed that cold start. The V8 triggering on, the rumble side to side. We need to listen to the idle from outside the car. This is for you more than for me, because I know what this sounds like. And that delicious, throaty V8 tone. Now, granted, it is kind of a lot, so if your neighbors are a bit irritated when you early in the morning fire this up or late at night return home, just, keep that in mind. I do want to mention that I have some curb ramps set up here to help with the clearance of the gutter, and I think that's needed with this carbon fiber 1 package because it juts out quite a bit with that splitter, and with the low ride height, you can scrape if you aren't taking things at a heavy angle, and that's not always possible in a driveway this stubby. 2 things before we roll out of here. The first will be pretty quick. I want to show you where I would stick the items I bring with me every day, like my iPhone 15 Pro, which fits easily on this large wireless charging pad. I've got the key fob in this dedicated slot right here. Inside the console, there really isn't much room, so just have my wallet and my sunglasses because there isn't dedicated storage for these up above. I'm not worried about scratching up the lenses though, because the entire console is felt lined. Now things start going downhill because large item storage is really poor inside the Blackwing. My 32-ounce water bottle doesn't fit inside the door cubby or inside the cup holder, so it has to go inside the glove box. Thankfully, it does fit in there, but there isn't additional room for my GoPro accessory case, so that's just sitting on the passenger side footwell. The second thing I want to do is going to take a little more time, and I'm actually going to turn the car back off. Because during my last bike ride, I broke this spoke on the back wheel. So I've got to get this bike repaired. And without an SUV, especially now that Mobile Mama has taken the G-Wagon, I'm going to use the Blackwing. And this is to prove that you can use a sedan for utility. You don't need an SUV. Now, I will admit there are better sedan examples than the CT5 because the trunk inside this one is not very large. I am going to expand it though by pulling down the rear seats on this side and on this one. They don't go fully flat and the opening isn't that big, but let's see what we can do. Before I attempt to load it, I am going to need to remove the front tire because it's not going to fit fully assembled like this. I'm also going to protect these fabric seat backs by laying down some towels and just sizing that up for good measure. The seat's going to have to go too. I think I'm ready for the moment of truth here. Back end in first. Oh, it's tight. Come on, just a little further clear the handlebar. I think it fits. Now to just place the seat and the front tire in here gently. Hold on there so it's not going to move. Yes. Now, I'm not going to pretend that was just as easy as throwing a bike in the back of an SUV. But you know what? It took me 5 minutes. So if you have 5 extra minutes, you can make your hobbies work inside the Blackwing. I'll throw on my seatbelt now. Ooh, welcoming chimes. Put it into first, release the parking brake, roll on forward. And it is trash day, and my neighbor does have his cans out quite far. The question is whether I'm going to clear them. And the answer is yes, just barely. Oh yeah, I own a Land Cruiser. Oops. Now, I did neglect to mention something during the cold start, and that is that for neighborly relations, if you want your Blackwing to be as mellow as possible, in the My mode, you can configure the engine sound in stealth. And if you're driving the car in stealth, and then you turn it off in My mode with stealth equipped, then it's gonna start up that same way, which is much more chill. So everyone is happy, including the little babies. Unless the babies are like you and they like V8. In that case, there's V mode. Which is a very different kind of relationship. I had to stop for a minute because when I realized this feature had changed for 25, I was overjoyed. So my 23 had a massage, but it was just a lumbar massage and it was super weak. I compared it to an old man just pushing weakly against your lower back, and it timed out after like 3 minutes. But Cadillac listened to the complaints of its customers, and for 25, they have upgraded the massage, and it's still just the back cushion, and you can adjust the type of massage. So you can't actually touch the screen for this, which is a little bizarre. You can just rotate it to change, but then you've got roll, you've got just a regular lumbar massage, you've got different intensity levels. This is a small but important improvement to daily life with the CT5 Blackwing. Moving on to the seats themselves, which are the same optional semi-aniline leather sport seats with the carbon-backed shells. They're multi-way adjusting, they're heated and ventilated. They've got these thigh bolster supports that extend so the underside of your legs are supported. The side bolsters here can adjust, and the bottom bolsters too. And so I've got a great driving position for myself at 6 feet tall with headroom above. The only thing is, like in my car, I wanted the seat to lower just a little bit more so I felt more immersed with the drive. I'm sitting just a touch high, but that's coming from a guy with a long torso, so take that for what it's worth. It also helps that the power adjusting steering rack will bring the wheel out to a comfortable position for my hands to rest and still allow me great visibility to the giant screen. It is now uniform, whereas in my car it was separated as gauge cluster and infotainment. It is now just 33 inches of one housing, and you know what? It is easier to use, I'll say that. The responsiveness of this Android operating system is excellent, and reconfiguring the gauge cluster or the infotainment is a breeze. I do think that the previous iteration was more driver focused. I felt like it was more about me, and then passengers be darned, they had their little infotainment screen. This is just for everyone now, and I can get over that because it is just, again, so user-friendly. You can switch through the different modes easily here on the left screen, and then on the right screen, you just work all the infotainment stuff. But far and away, the thing I loved the most about my car as a daily driver was the ride compliance. The magnetic ride control just filtered out all of the chatter of the road so that you as the passenger had that classic Cadillac comfort. And that's still the case here for 25 for the most part, because there is this optional precision package. It is optional and it's equipped to this car, and that is focused on track performance. So everything has just been tightened and stiffened up, and there's more wheel camber. It's got its purpose in mind, and what that brings with it as a daily driver is just a little extra firmness to your commute or your errand running. It's still very docile as a high performance sedan goes, but it just has that little extra edge, that little extra discomfort relative to the non-precision pack. One thing this car in particular has going for it for ride compliance, for ride comfort, is the fact that it's on the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. You can get Cup 2s as a no-cost option with the Precision Pack, which is a much firmer compound, again, for track duty. But if you get the PS4S tires, they have a little more give to them and therefore more comfort. Another thing that is the same and just as great as it was when I owned this car is the Tremec 6-speed manual. Yes, you can get the 10-speed automatic, and yes, I suppose in theory it's slightly more livable, but this is such a good transmission. It's so easy to use in addition to how much feel it has, how solid of an enthusiast gearbox it is, that I just don't understand why you would do that unless you just didn't know or didn't want to drive a manual. The leather-wrapped shifter shape is perfect for my hands. The engagement and release point of the clutch is so easy to perceive. And then the throws themselves are truncated and direct. You feel that notch into each gear. There's no mystery whatsoever. And there is, in addition to those features, a rev match function that you can turn on at the press of a button, and that is going to blip the throttle so you don't have to heel toe around town, which is really rather convenient. I just wish that feature was programmable in your My Mode function. You have to hit the rev match button independently. And on the topic of ease of driving, the power delivery from this supercharged V8 with its 668 horsepower and 659 pound-feet of torque is very mellow. If you are in the right mode, the throttle response isn't over eager and you can just pour it on, and the supercharger gives you that linear power curve, and so you just get up to speed responsibly when you want to be responsible. As for other daily driving considerations, turn signal sound is like all other GM vehicles. Sounds like a horse getting up to gallop. And now for the turning radius, I know this is going to go. Wheel is fully turned. Oh, we're just gonna barely make a double wide, very wide lane U-turn. That has not improved. I mean, seriously, it's one of the Achilles heels of the Blackwing, and there are very few of them, but the maneuverability at low speeds is just awful in this car. In a context like this, it's a little embarrassing, but let's see if they have fixed something that was a problem, at least in my Blackwing. Sensitivity of the horn. In my car, if I just brushed my hand on the surface of the airbag, it would set off the horn. That's not happening, so I'd say maybe mine was just a defect. But let's listen to the sound of the horn. Someone is driving erratically on the roads and you need to alert them to their behavior. You use the horn, and here, just a normal horn sound. Should work. Before I drop off the bike, I need to grab some coffee. Well, needs a strong word because I don't drink caffeinated coffee. I would really like some coffee, so I'm gonna pop in here to Lion and Lamb Coffee Roasters. I am, of course, going to back in to a parking space because that's just the way I do things. So let me pull the gear selector over and up to reverse. That prompts a super high-res camera system with lots of different angles to use and trajectory lines tell me into the space. So let me cut the wheel earlier than you think you need to because of that turning radius. And parking sensors are not chimes, but rather vibrations in through the seat, which are definitely going to get your attention. So we're good. Coffee is a check. Let's pause for a sec. Looking at this radiant red tint coat. Oh, I like the welcome animations. That's new and different. Anyway, radiant red metallic. It's a very different look for this car, perhaps more mature than the electric blue I had on my Blackwing. Still think I prefer that color though. Or the new Typhoon green. I saw that on this car during the first drive. The changes they made to the lower fascia with those new headlights, I don't know, it softens the exterior a little bit to my eyes. I think I prefer the pre-facelift. I do like how this color looks with the carbon ceramic brake calipers also painted in red. Those come with the precision package, and it looks good with the carbon fiber. But yeah, you guys let me know which color looks best on the Blackwing, and do you like the changes they made to the face? I am parked next to someone else, so I can show you the door opening space. That's one defined notch. I can go 2, can't quite go 3, but that's plenty of room to slide on into the cabin with coffee in hand. We're good. And cup holders, I've got 2 of them. They're on the smaller side, but that's needed because they don't have any inserts to hold the cup in place. If it was any bigger, this would just slosh on out. It is the right height to easily grab it once again and take another delicious sip. I did mention the potential for clearance issues with that front splitter, so I have to show you here how much of an angle is required not to scrape, and then you hear the limited slip differential just going, it's looking for traction. Made it to the shop. Now I just need to extract my bike and reassemble it. Yesterday we talked around townability and practicality. Today I'm diving into performance, and a bit later on, some family friendliness. On my way to some good driving roads, I will be on the highway for a while, which will give me a chance to see about things like passing power. In preparation for that, I'm just gonna hit the V mode button, which sort of heightens all the senses of the Blackwing. Then I'll downshift to 4th and dig into the power. Oh my gosh. The mid-range is just insane in this vehicle. I'm gonna go 1 gear down. And hear more from the Supercharged V8. Who doesn't love that? It is easy to make your way through traffic, get to the lane of your choosing, and then calm down. Go into 6th gear. I'm gonna take it out of V mode and listen to the cabin volume at highway speeds. Interesting. I'm getting a little vibration from the dashboard area. Now, this isn't perfectly smooth tarmac, but I didn't get vibration really on any surface in my car. So I'm wondering if the precision package and all the tightening that they did to this platform isn't creating that vibration. Because otherwise, I mean, tire noise isn't bad, wind noise is effectively non-existent, and the outside traffic doesn't generate a whole lot of noise inside this cabin either. That was one thing I really valued about my car. You could commute quietly, comfortably, in a zen state. Now, one thing you do have to give up with the manual in terms of commuting is all the sophisticated driving assistance features that you can equip. GM's Super Cruise system, it's hands-free highway driving. That means no need to go to the throttle or brake to maintain a gap, no need to even have your hands on the wheel for staying in the center of the lane. It'll even change lanes for you. But with the manual, you just get regular old cruise control. Not adaptive, no steering assistance, there's just a lane departure warning system. I almost hit the steering wheel heating button when I turned that on, by the way. A feature I forgot to mention, but as you know, is critically important to me, so I'm gonna turn that on right now. While I'm warming my hands and having to speed up and slow down here manually, I wanted to listen to the AKG 15 speaker sound system. I will do that via the wireless Apple CarPlay, and this system is very responsive now, way quicker than in my car, so I can get everything I want queued up. They got rid of the physical volume knob though, that's kind of annoying, so I have to use these volume buttons on the steering wheel. Let's see, looks to be about 50% right there. Speed up again. A little higher, maybe 55, 60. That's pretty good. I didn't really hear any distortion as I dialed up the volume there at the end. Notes were clear, good range. Not a whole lot of punch from the bass though, and actually before this, I went in and dialed up the bass just to see if I could get more out of it. Unfortunately, you cannot. So if you want that resonant bass, not the sound system for you, but as a standard unit in this car, it's quite good. Finally, it's time for some fun. Let's start with a real-world 0 to 60 test. I've got my race box set up here to record. All the conditions are met for launch control. I'm in the V mode with performance traction management set to race 1. I'm now gonna clutch in, head into 1st gear, give it full throttle, get off the clutch, and no lift shift down to 2nd. Get there in 4.32 seconds. That is a rear-wheel driven delight. But you probably noticed from that run that the indicated red line was 4,500 RPM, And that's because Cadillac dropped off this car with like 350 miles. You have to wait until 500 miles for it to raise the red line to 6,500. So very likely I was shifting early, and that's probably why in my car I got 3.9 seconds to 60. But no excuses, the car is a handful of miles away from break-in. It's gonna be fine. I just have to mentally recalibrate to shift at 6,500 RPM, not the indicated 4,500. I can get over that mental block. For this, 100%. Oh, the bite from the carbon ceramics is excellent. And I can already feel the difference with the precision pack. There's all this great road feel. My car had a little of this, but not to this level. It's more precise as well. And coming out of a corner, it feels more stable with the changes they made to the limited slip differential and the additional camber angle. It's prepped for this, or for even more aggressive driving on a track. It is just inhaling this road. And I have more confidence in it, which when you only have 2 driven wheels, that's very valuable. Oh, I missed you. I'm really honored, Cadillac, that you would have me break in another Blackwing. I really enjoyed it the first time, and I enjoy it now too. Just all the braking, all the power, all of the cornering stability. There just is no other internal combustion sedan that handles like this. Especially now with this new precision pack. Oh, it's that mid-corner feel. Did not get it to the same degree pre-precision. If you're just gonna drive your Blackwing around town, 1, you're missing out, but 2, don't get this package. But if you're gonna take it to roads like this often enough, or the track, do not miss out, because this has actually transformed the driving experience. With small tweaks combined, it has really upgraded the level, which was already so high and is now just untouched by the competition. Do I need this car again? I mean, come on, no, that's unreasonable. I might. I really might. There goes the phone. That's just something I'll have to discuss with Mobile Mama right after I'm done loving every shift. She can wait a little while, right? When has that ever worked out? I don't know. Unfortunately, I'm about to run out of gas, which means I'm butting up against one of the only other Achilles heels to this car. That is the combination of a smallish fuel tank, it's just 17 gallons, with poor fuel economy. It's rated at 13 mpg in the city, 20 on the highway, and 15 combined, which would equate to a fuel range of about 255 miles. Not great, but better than what I've been seeing, which is 10.6. And at current fuel prices of $5.15 for the required 91 octane gas, it's going to cost me about $88 to fill this tank, but there's capless fueling to save me time.
Stop. I don't like the slow pet down my leg.
I don't know. I'm so sorry to keep you waiting, babe. That was... I mean, you're so patient always that I knew you would be okay with me being just 30 to an hour minutes late. An hour minutes?
Yeah, because I have nothing to do. It's fine.
Yeah, no, she doesn't have a whole bunch of filming to do for that G580 over there or anything.
Yeah.
What do you think of the back of the CT5-V Blackwing? Again,
I forgot how spacious it is.
Yeah, no, it really is.
Great legroom.
Yeah.
You're close to the top.
I don't miss this.
Ooh.
I don't miss the headroom situation.
Yeah.
So I can't put my head back on the headrest unless I just like do this, and then I lose all the lumbar. I still have the knee room though, that's good. Foot pockets are solid. Carbon buckets look amazing.
We need a little more here.
We need a lot more here. A third set of climate control maybe for the $134,000 that this one is as tested.
Woo.
And maybe another USB-C. That would be fine. We've got a DC outlet and one USB-C for you and I to fight over. She's gonna win. Anyway, we have...
Just the look.
Yeah, we've got injection molding up here. That's okay. Suede's nice.
Got
Leather's
carbon
nice.
fiber.
Hard plastics. Why? Why so many hard plastics? Come on, Caddy, for this money. The suede on the headliner is quite
It's really nice, yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got,
Did you have suede on yours?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because I got the slick top too. Lower that center of gravity for performance. Nice padding here for the arm.
Squishy.
Yeah.
It's good.
Okay, so it's got space for people who don't have, longer torsos like myself. Should we see about the car seats?
Yes, we should.
All right, what do we got?
3 tethers, 2 sets of lower latch anchors.
Yep. Are they exposed?
Take off those plastic. Oh.
Oh, they stay. I like
yeah.
that. Don't lose them. That's
Don't
good.
break them.
And let me get the forward-facing car seat in. Did you have any trouble getting the rear-facing one in?
No, this was super easy. I have to latch it.
Ooh, it's not too shallow. I could get that in there. And then find the top tether right here. Okay, it did get the top tether secured, and the adjusting headrest means I could get that belt under there. The problem was you can't remove the headrest. So we had to do a lot of finagling to get my daughter's height adjustment of this seat to negotiate getting the car seat back against the seat and having it work. But now it's fine, and she's gonna have lots of leg room. Your seating position.
I need to move back. I need more leg room.
More leg room, please.
Mom?
Oh, you're comfortable, my darling.
Well,
oh,
this
yes.
is how you first sold me on this vehicle
true.
because I have tons of room. I could even move back more if I would like to.
You can fully stretch out.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, there are complications for tall people in the back and a lack of features, but the Cadillac CT5-V Blackwing is family approved.
And we know.
We do.
Hey Google, take us to In-N-Out.
There's a In-N-Out Burger 1.5 miles away. Want to navigate there?
Yes.
I think that's family approved as well.
Yeah.
A trip to In-N-Out.
Yay.
Let's go, everybody. Okay, but Talia, should the drive be slow or fast?
Fast.
That's what I thought you'd say. Shall we? Family?
That was good fun.
That was fun? You like it?
Yeah.
Okay. You like the sound?
Yeah.
They're both doing it now. The V8 chorus. And you know what goes great with a V8? Burgers. Where do we like burgers from? In-N-Out. So I drove right past it. It's right over there. In-N-Out. Let's go. Food barely hit the table before you guys were tearing it up. We love our In-N-Outs. Well, crew, at the beginning of this video, I pondered if the changes they've made to the 25 CT5-V Blackwing make it better to live with. And after quality time spent behind the wheel, I've come away with some improvements and some sacrifices made to livability. The bigger screens and faster processor do bring more captivating visuals and features, but rear passengers are still fighting over one USB-C port and are missing rear climate controls. The Precision package is a massive upgrade to the Blackwing's handling prowess, but takes a slight toll on ride comfort and cabin quiet. The trunk is still a bit small, but you can fit a slightly disassembled bicycle. Headroom for taller rear passengers is still a bit cramped, but legroom is terrific and car seats fit easily. The turning radius remains too large, but you can drown out your frustrations with V8 Thunder. This car was a joy to live with for almost 2 years, and it's still the daily driver choice for enthusiasts with luxury proclivities. I hope you guys have enjoyed this day in the life, and I'll see you again next time.